Hey, I got my big ass fan going. Moves a lot of air, just what we want. I would read through the instruction book at least twice before you even start. It's less confusing that way. Here I am fixing to install a big ass fan. Rented a scissor lift. It's going to go up there in the rafters. Had to go to the welding shop and have these 3x3 angle irons made. Since I'm over 8 feet, or right at 8 feet on my rafters, had to do the double beam. And then since the fan is yellow, I painted the beams yellow. I'll go right up there. Okay, I got the 2 beams up in position in the rafters. Being I have wood instead of metal, I'm going to use lag bolts, bolt them to the beams. They're not bolted right now. I'm going to hang up the center post that the fan hangs from, and make sure everything lines up. Put everything together loosely and then tighten it. Also, those beams, you have to have them made. They don't come in the kit. And those beams are 3x3 angled iron, double, which is 2 pieces, 8 foot long, bolted together. And they were about, I'm going to say they're probably about 70 pounds a piece, so they're a little bit heavy. Okay, also, I pre-assembled the pole that the fan's going to hook to. This is what it looks like on top. You get put in your spacer, and there's holes in it for the bolts to go through. So you have the control wire, the safety cable, and your power. And then they come down through the bottom. Control wire and power wire coming through the bottom slot. And inside is the safety cable, which has a loop on it. So there we have it. The pole that the fan hooks to is bolted to the beams loosely. Also, I found the center of the building. I marked it up there. So I have the fan in the center of the building and the center between the left and right walls. Okay, we ran the safety cable that was down in the pipe, ran it up through the pipe, wrapped it around the beams, tied it off on top. Then we got the motor, hooked the safety cable to it. You have about 8 inches sticking out of the bottom. Hook it on there, and then you pick up the whole assembly, put it in the tube. Make sure your wires are coming out through the hole from the motor. Put in the bolts. Then you can just plug these in. They only plug in one way. Then this other wire, this comes from the motor too, hooks to this switch. It's your forward and reverse. And it mounts over the hole. Okay, next step is to put on the fan cover on the bottom. Just a note, all these little screws are in one bag, and the 3 that attach this bracket are a little bit bigger. The smaller ones go around the perimeter there to hold the cover. Okay, you get the switch in. They recommend you to put it on forward. So we got that.
All right, we're assembling the blades now. Got to take the airfoil. There's one hole on this end. Slides in here. Got to push it on, it's kind of tight. Then there's a screw, goes in right there. On the other end, there's two holes. That's for the mounting on the fan. All right, slid the blades on, a couple of them anyway. These pieces here connect to each blade and interlock with the next one. Just makes a circle. So when you put this bolt in, you got two pieces on each bolt by the motor, and then only one bolt out here with one piece by itself. So it overlaps right here on every blade, all the way around. Pretty easy. Okay, all the fan blades are bolted and tight. Make sure you tighten the outside ones first on the blades, all the way around. Then you tighten the ones up by the motor, all the way around. And this is all metric stuff. Need metric Allen wrenches and metric tools. Okay, looks like the assembly is done. Things mounted, safety cable. I already started on some of the electrical. Got to make sure everything is out of the way of the blades. All right, fixing to start up the big ass fan. Tried it earlier and it wouldn't come on. Down here on the switch above, there's a LED. It was blinking and it blinks out a code. So you look in your manual and see what that is. And when I was putting it up, I missed this part. Right here, you have to cut their harness and twist two wires together. I don't know why they just don't make it that way, but they don't. So I had to find those two wires up there on the fan motor where the forward and reverse switch is. That's where it's at. Take that out and twist those together. And now we got it. We just have to, it doesn't come on instantly. You just push this in. LEDs comes on right there. Makes a little noise like it's pre-starting. So don't come on instantly. Also, in the manual, you got to be at least 10 foot off the floor and 2 foot above the blades. So I'm almost 11 feet off the floor and 2 foot off the blades. So now we are running. It moves a lot of air. I had to slow it down because it was actually blowing my hair. So anyway, there she goes. Big ass fan. Up and running. Pretty quiet. I hear a little bit of hum in the motor itself. There's the finished product, installed and working. Big ass fans.